brand new camera I'm going to test out here. See how all the wind noise is, and if it's just me driving around in my truck. Headed up to the city right now to go stop at the old Air Force base. You know, especially for all the haters that say I'm stolen valor. I got something for you. So, not many people have gotten to see me, I guess, you know, on camera. So, it's going to take a while for me to get used to talking to a camera and doing all the things that everybody else has had to do that starts a YouTube channel. And so, granted, I can't just look at the camera all the time because, well, I'm driving. So, headed out from the house. Like I said, going up to the city, got to go by my favorite little Korean store and pick up me some kimchi and some of the favorite things I like. So after that, I'll probably stop by my son's shop, probably do a video there, just so I can show you guys around on that, talk to you about some of the products that they do, show you some stuff. I'm sure we'll be doing a lot more videos with this camera, which he's got a camera also. Oh, that's a bird. So
isn't that
yeah, just gonna start working on making some videos. Of course, the first few are just gonna be me talking, getting used to the camera, interacting with people that want to talk with me, visit with me. I hope to be starting up my YouTube channel and doing some live views. I'm working on studio and all that stuff, so got to convert a bedroom into an area that I can do different shots, show you guys different stuff. Like I said, I want to start showing you guys, you know, sort of like my photography. I'm gonna definitely start taking the camera out in the field as I shoot in the field, and just showing you guys, you know, how I take different shots of birds and stuff like that. The majority of my stuff is birds, you know. My knees and back don't allow me to go just traipse into the woods anymore, so I don't really go do any of that kind of stuff, but I've got some of my favorite spots. I'm going to be doing some videos with my e-bike for anybody who's interested in the e-bike, trying to answer your questions on that. So, if you don't follow me yet, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be putting out more videos. Like I said, I just got this new camera, so hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit more of the 360 view camera, so that you can see me and also see where I'm at in my environment and all that stuff. I like that. I like people's videos who show me that. I probably should slow my butt down here, so let me slow down a second here. Put on the cruise control while I'm talking to you and not paying attention. But I definitely want to start showing you guys just different stuff. For those who've never been to Oklahoma, I want to start showing you some stuff around Norman. You know,
just a article about getting hold of the police.
You may be interested in, and of course, I'm always welcome to request if somebody's got a specific thing they want me to go shoot a video on. I'll definitely go up to Lake Stanley Draper and ride the e-bike all the way around that trail, so you can see all that in 360. Take you some of the different eagles nests I go to. I'm an actual eagle nest observer for a group here in Oklahoma who monitors. There's like almost 400 nests of bald eagles here in Oklahoma, so I'll take you to some of those. There's certain things I can show you, certain things I can't. So
isn't that special?
I'll show you what I can is what I'm saying. There's some stuff that's not allowed to be shown, I guess, per se, just because of locations or stuff like that. So the very public ones that everybody knows about, I don't have a problem showing you those different nests, but ones that are not very familiar with people don't want people just traipsing out. You know, I get it. That's how, when I first found out about the Shawnee nest, you know, a few years ago, and I first got into bird photography, wildlife photography, and different stuff like that, I was out there all the time, you know, because it was relatively close to the road. You could set up, you could get shots and all that stuff, which I did, you know. I took a lot of photos from out of the eagle's nest in Shawnee before that tornado was taken down. That nest was taken down in a tornado, and they actually rebuilt part of it, and then it really got hit by a tornado. So we haven't seen those eagles ever since. So that's unfortunate. It made a lot of great content, got a lot of great shots. So, you know, just I look to try to bring stuff that not per se entertains anybody, because I'm not an entertainer. I'm just a real person. I want to show you real things that you may be interested in. So that's why, you know, hey, if you have an idea of something you want to see, or maybe something you want me to make a video on, look, I'm just starting out, so I'm learning this as I go and trying to get into it and just show people different stuff, you know. So I hope my videos bring you answers to questions. You know, I don't want to just do true crime. I mean, you know, look, I worked in the field of that for 32 years, and you know, sometimes your brain just says, look, you know, there's a reason why you left doing that stuff.
911, what's your
You don't want to do all that stuff anymore. Which, you know, I'm in no means an expert on a lot of stuff, but I have done stuff, worked in video for a lot of my time in law enforcement and security fields, and you know, it is what it is. You know, I try to analyze videos, I try to show you from my perspective and all that stuff. There's plenty of guys out there who are different investigators who know a lot more than I do, I'll tell you that much. But you know, hey, I have done the job, not as a detective or anything like that, but you know, every day on the street when you get a call, you have to investigate it per se and figure out, you know, who do you call next or whatever. So, but again, people can believe what they want to believe. You know, I don't even want to go into all the fiascos that everybody's seeing online. I'm there to be me, give you my perspective. If you don't want to follow somebody that I follow or whatever. And by the way, if you wave your hand, I forgot I had gestures on this camera, so if you wave your hand, it will stop recording. So that's why there's a second cut here. I'll try to stitch them together, but yeah. So you know, if there's somebody you don't like and I clip their videos and all that stuff, I understand. There's plenty of people on the web that I don't get along with. You know, there's people who's blocked me, there's people I've blocked. It's life. No different in real life. If I have somebody who I don't agree with their way of living or their life or what they're doing, guess what? I don't hang out with them. I don't call them up and say, hey, can we hang out just so I can watch you do your stupid stuff? You know, hey, it's just the way life is.
How does a fella go about getting hold of the police?
You don't have to be here. There's nobody holding a gun to your head and telling you you've got to sit and watch my stuff. So
Call 911 now!
Trying to keep it real. So, you know, I've made plenty of new friends on X. You know, I really like X. I was on Facebook, which all my family's on Facebook. That's why I still have a Facebook, because, you know, that's how I do communicate with them in different parts of the country. And, you know, look, my photography page, I wasn't getting no traction. You pay money to put stuff out there, and you just don't get nothing, and you just find yourself going, well, why am I even paying for that whenever you're getting no traction and not getting your return of what your investment is to have people see it and all that stuff. So I decided to leave Facebook. I still have a lot of photos there, a lot of you guys, you know. It's pinned on my X account, right on my profile. You can go to my Flickr page. I've got over 18,000 of my images that I've taken and edited, which, you know, over the years. I know one of my very first Sonys, it had over 800,000 clicks on it, so that camera finally decided to put out on me, and I had to go get a new camera and work that one, and had a small little accident with it. Luckily it was insured, and then it took a while, but eventually I was able to save up some money and went and bought me a new camera and decided to go with Canon instead of Sony, which I love Sony cameras, but they are expensive. So I decided to have Canon this time, and I'm getting used to it. So I like Canon cameras, but you know, people like different cameras themselves, and I get it. I mean, camera equipment is very expensive. You know, you're paying anywhere from $2,500 to $6,000 just for a body alone. That's not including the lens when you get out there and you really want to start shooting bird photography. So,
isn't that
you know, in order to have the reach and all that stuff, you know, I love when people share their photos of what they've taken and all that stuff, and you know, it's expensive. It's very expensive to actually get in and be able to get good shots with a, you know, people say it all the time, well, yeah, I mean, you got a professional camera and all this stuff, and you're a professional and all this. I am not. I am a hobbyist. I go out and I've learned, I've taught myself. I watch videos on YouTube, and other than that, I go out and shoot photos just like anybody else can. So, you know, I'm more than willing to help and share my ideas on different stuff that I've learned taking photography and shooting photos and all that stuff. So, more than willing to help anybody. If you have a question, you see this video, or you see any of my future videos about photography or anything for that matter, feel free to ask a question. So I'll pause it for now and holler at you guys on the next one, which I'm sure will be a conclusion of this one. So just talking and sharing my thoughts to you guys. So feel free to ask any questions if you have them. Thanks. Well, hello, my friends. Me back again. Headed home right now. Went to Tinker Air Force Base, you know, with that valid ID I have. Went shopping, pick up some things. Went and had me some good old Korean food for lunch. Some spicy beef bulgogi.
How does a fella go about getting hold of the police?
So, headed back home now after I went and picked up some kimchi at the Korean market.
911, what's your emergency?
So, that's only because I stayed about 3 months in Korea. I went to Team Spirit 93. Got to go to Pohang, Korea. That's a cold place. For those that've never been there, at least my time I was there was a very cold place. So I like Korean food, a lot of Japanese food. So what's your favorite foods? I like Mexican food, especially some spicy food. I like a lot of spicy food, just like my spicy beef bulgogi for lunch today. Had a little spice to it, pretty good. So, just driving the back roads home. What about you guys? What are y'all doing today? Got anything you're working on? Got to get done today, or are you just hanging out? Let me close that window so it ain't so loud, maybe. I'll check this, obviously, before I post it anywhere. That car tried to hit me. Sucker. So, yeah, just driving home. Waiting on some other parts from my new camera here that I'm talking to you on. That way I can mount it to my bicycle, go for a ride. So,
FBI, open up!
not too many in-depth conversations to be had, especially whenever you're having a conversation with yourself and you don't get no reply answers and all that stuff. So I definitely want to start doing little live YouTube stuff, questions and answers. But, you know, hey, I gotta have people to talk to so we can have some discussions about stuff. So we'll be working on that. Like I said, the biggest thing is I got to get my little studio built, just because my area that's my office right now, where my computer and all that stuff set up, is a high traffic area for my whole household. So you guys don't want to see that. My family don't want to be on camera, so I'll move it into my new little area I'm building. I'm gonna get all my craft stuff, as in my models that I've 3D printed, got to paint. I'll probably be doing some videos on that too, and you know, that's a whole different thing. I'm not crafty like a lot of you guys probably are. You guys, you ladies, you whoever's that maybe do crafts. Like I said, I'm just 3D printing and just started painting. Painted my ET. I've got a bunch of the horror series, you know, Freddy and Jason, all those guys. I've got a bunch of those printed out. I've got a few of those painted. But now that I've learned a little bit more painting, I probably want to go back and do a little bit better paint job on some of those. So got to work on some of that stuff, but it just gives me something to do and something to talk to you guys about. So, you know, anybody has any pointers, especially anybody that knows how to paint and all that stuff, you can watch YouTube videos all you want until you try to slap some paint on a 3D model or whatever. Yeah, your video looks amazing. That's not how mine turned out. So just one of those things. But yeah, I want to get into some of that. Just gives me something to do. So yeah, I vape. It's my life. I get to live it. And thank you for being here in it. But just like I was telling somebody the other night, you know, I smoked cigarettes for 30-something years. And the big difference between smoking and vaping. Smoking's one thing, it's just that little crutch of having that cigarette in your hand, having a cigarette. It's just what people use as their calming agent. And my kids had always vaped. There's some nice Camaros sitting there at that house. My kids had always vaped, so I decided to give vaping a try. And the first couple times, it wasn't good. Stuff made me cough, and so just like I was telling one of my followers the other day when we were discussing it, you know, just start out small. Don't go to the major nicotine just because you think you got to have the max dose of nicotine that you can get from a vape. Don't do it. It'll definitely choke you up. So just start out easy, get used to it until you transition fully over from cigarettes or whatever you smoke, you know, to vaping full time, and you'll be able to taste your food, and your clothes don't stink anymore. People don't make comments about, God, you smell like an ashtray. Well, you know, it's crazy. Whenever you're smoking, you don't smell it per se because you're just used to that smell and you get numb to it. So, and now that I haven't smoked in over 3 years, I definitely can smell it on people, and I understand what people are saying. And, you know, some people, they drink. I quit drinking a little bit after I turned 21. Yeah, I've had drinks in my life since then, but now I can't tell you the last time I had a drink just because it's been so long. Just because, I mean, I have no desire for it. So, you know, I don't drink. I don't smoke. F-bomb. It's just part of my language. I'm sorry. It's just verbiage. You know, I don't even think about it. I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but you know, hey, it's just the way I am. It's the way I talk. It's the way I get my expressions across. You see that big bump? That thing about threw me out the truck. So yeah, it's just me. This is me, this is my life. And I'll take you on some adventures. You know, the Captain Caveman Chronicles. I had to change my name. One of my friends, she was looking for my page, and she said, well, there's multiples with that same name of Graybeard Adventures. Well, I didn't know that. YouTube let me. I guess the difference was there was a space between Gray and Beard on mine, and the other person's name was Graybeard. So I guess YouTube allowed me to have it. Well, he already has his established page, so I didn't want to take away from that, so I changed my name because I'm just starting out. So that's why I changed it from Graybeard Adventures, even though, as you can see, I do have a gray beard. And why do I have a gray beard? Because I can. I lived my life from the time I turned 18 till 32 years later of somebody telling me that I could not grow facial hair. Once I medically retired, I said, you know what? I get to decide if I want to have a beard or not now. And it's funny, my wife had never seen me with a beard in those 30 years that we've been married. So I grew a beard. Here I am. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What's your story? What's your claim to fame? Anybody out there got any claim to fame stories? So the biggest thing is you know, just be you. Everybody knows the dramas and the sagas going on some of the YouTube stuff that we've been involved in here lately. After all the comments and all that stuff, I've just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. Gotta skip the rude comments, because I've got myself on X a couple times of just letting people have it, giving them my expressions.
Wackadoodle.
Unfortunately, I just can't do that and try to live peacefully in harmony on X. So, you want to talk crap? I may like it. I may give you a like back. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but just know I am fully restraining myself from just giving you a piece of my mind. Okay? Don't mean we can't be friends, but just know that you can check back. I fully used to give people a piece of my mind. And the haters, you know, hey, everybody knows that I recently got monetized on X, and I appreciate all you guys who helped me get there by giving comments or reposting and all that different stuff. So, you know, it's definitely a challenge to get monetized, stay engaged to your followers, and having your followers, you know, comment on everything that you post and all that good stuff. But you know, just be you. It will happen. Just like with me, I'm nothing special. I'm just a guy on X who posts comments and give my opinions, and some people may not like it, some people may. They may laugh at it, they may repost me. You know, that's the way it is. you'll keep growing. Just be yourself and be true to yourself. I've said that before in a post. Situation. Don't tell one lie to cover up another lie, to keep telling lies to keep the story going. Because the truth will be found out, and when that happens, you'll lose a lot of followers, trust in people, and all that stuff. So, yeah, people can say what the hell they want to on there, but, you know, the truth will set you free. So, you know, there's one thing that if you're telling somebody in private something and you're joking with them, and that's a bad thing about X, unless you're doing a video like this right here where somebody can see what you're saying and know what you're actually meaning. I can type out something and you can read it and totally be wrong in what I meant to say or to condone to you, or not to condone to you, but to what my true message to you was. Sorry, I'm looking at some birds up in the air there that are flying by. Just make sure there wasn't no bald eagles. Convey, that's what I'm trying to say, convey what I was trying to convey to you. You know, it's one thing if you're seeing a video message like this and you know what I'm talking about, my emphasis on the words and my expressions about it. But whenever you're just reading something on the internet, you can totally misread what my intended message was, and therefore it may cause you to get upset at what I said or something that's not even totally what I meant. So people complain all the time I use exclamation points and all this extra stuff. I emphasize words and type them in capital letters. That's me. That's how I am. It's my X page. That's what I do. I told somebody that, hey, when you don't start seeing a lot of exclamations and it's proper English, proper grammar, and proper punctuation, you probably should be concerned that somebody hasn't taken over my daggum X page. So, just know, it's me. It's just the way I am. It's the way I express myself, and it's there to have fun. So, when we can't have fun no more, and we got to follow all these daggum rules, that's why Elon bought it. Free speech, baby, free speech. Thanks, Elon.
FBI, open up!
So, you know, hey, just be yourself. Get on there and do what you do, and, you know, the comment and all that good stuff. And I'll tell you, a good friend, somebody who I follow and I post a lot of and have spoken directly to them via DMs and all that stuff. Not that he's ever taken me out for lunch or dinner or anything like that or been anywhere with him, but, you know, my good buddy Nick Sorter, make sure you follow him. He's only got like 1.5 million followers, you know. But Nick has given me advice on, you know, don't just like and repost somebody's comment. You got to get in their comments and reply in there and let people see you and, you know, respond back to them. That's how you grow on X and all that good stuff. So you got to reply to people too. You can't just repost everything and expect to grow off of it, because you're not doing nothing but helping the person that actually posted it. So, you know, do your part and pay attention and learn and listen to what people are telling you, and you'll definitely grow on there. So, all right, well, I'm pulling in at home, and I may see you here in a little bit on another one, or if not, you'll see me on one here soon, because I plan to keep getting used to this and doing it and making videos for you. So it's just weird driving around by yourself talking to somebody in the truck with you, and there ain't nobody back there. So you just gotta practice and mess with it and get comfortable with it, and it'll start coming a little natural to you, and you'll start getting used to it. Get used to hearing yourself on video and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure I sound like a hick. I grew up in the mountains of North Carolina, so that's that. So, all right, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.